the 67.2 kilometres.
Let's take a look then at that 67.2 kilometres as the riders work their way around the circuit. Past the Innovation Campus, running on into the finish, and the riders have got the introduction little section, 15.9 kilometres, and then 3 big laps after that. Pretty quick. The flag is dropped and we are off. The junior women's road race. Let's see how this unfolds, how this plays out, how the squads decide to work their tactics. Will the riders have warmed up before the start of today's race? Because it's a pretty brutal start.
So these riders will now have to swap off turns and hope that they can get back, but they're just about to hit the climb of Mount Uzli.
The 2 riders from Kazakhstan in there, Milana Kodlakova and also Victoria Marchuk, distanced already. Rachel Seaman, because of that gap being left, finds herself out of the back. We're on to Mount Uzli, and a problem there for Zoe Backstead. A little bit of a gear slip as she tried to change and found herself slipping back in the line. Also Izzy Sharp coming up alongside her. The Swiss team are there, so are the Germans. But the pace that Backstead is already setting on the front is a pretty hefty one. The Swiss rider wants to try and match, and Great Britain are already, in fact, Izzy Sharp is out the back. She's gone.
That just goes to show how aggressive this start has been. And look how much these riders are struggling. Hopefully they've got the right gear ratios.
It is problematic, isn't it? Because this is a really steep part of the climb. Going out of the back also is Mira Carnarvon. Izzy Sharp has gone for Great Britain. That's a bit of a surprise too. She was their backup rider. Penelope Primo has gone. Number 60 there's the American Mikala Jaramillo. This rider, number 12, Julie Bago, she was second to Eglantine Rea in Occitanie, and she's been dropped as well. Just in front is Babette van der Wolf. And look at this, there's hardly any riders left already as Great Britain rip it over the top of that climb now and put the pressure on. There's going to be 15, 20 riders left in this peloton after a start of 72. They're already talking.
Oh, that was an absolute brutal start to the women's junior race. So the race favourite, Zoe Backstead, is applying the pressure on the descent.
The rider from the Czech Republic going clear. I think this is Aliska Krasnikova. Just trying to get clear and chase down Zoe Backstead. The British riders trying to bring her back. But 18 seconds is the advantage. Zoe Backstead comes up with 1 lap completed. 3 laps of racing to go, and this rider's decided, in order to win the World Road title again, I'm just going to time trial it. I'm not going to worry about anyone else. I'm just going to ride my own race. And if it means that I win, great. If it means that I lose, and I've tried everything I can to win this world title. On the front of the peloton, it is the team of France as they try to chase this down. Titio as they try to do something about the domination of this British youngster. Aliska Krasnikova crosses the line at 28 seconds. The peloton is going to be around 48 seconds down as they make their way up towards the completion of this lap. And Great Britain are just riding through and looking around and saying to everyone, do a little bit of work if you want to bring her back, because we're confident she's going to win the world title. Now this peloton riding in a much more cohesive way as they all stay together. There's less struggling on the climb this time. Riders have had a chance to warm up, and riders also not having to deal with that really fast tempo.
Well, this has been the star of the championships. She has been out for every single race, encouraging the riders up the climb.
We missed her on lap 1. I don't know if she got out of bed early enough to get here for lap 1, but she's here for lap 2, cheering Zoe Backstead up Mount Pleasant. This is our second place rider, Aliska Krasnikova. Starting to labour a little bit on this part of the climb. This is the 14% gradient. This is where it really starts to bite. Here's the two Canadian riders.
And as you said, Anthony, some riders getting a little bit stronger on the second time, but a lot of legs very, very tired.
Linda Bailey and also Lucy Stewart of Australia. Again, Isabel Sharp, Izzy Sharp of Great Britain being dropped. The same riders just being distanced on this climb, hoping to find their way back when they come back to the waterfront. It's everyone just trying to survive on this particular climb today. Start to see another acceleration and 3 riders going clear. Ninka Vinka signed for DSM, so she'll be in the World Tour next year. She's the rider on the front. On the wheel is Eglantine Rhea, one of the race favourites. And with them is Owen Roberts from Great Britain. So 3 riders now trying to chase down the rider in front in the silver medal position.
So Kaznikova, she will be chased down by these riders who have her in sight now and are motivated. And I've just also been getting some updates from Pat Shaw, who is an Australian and one of the biggest supporters I know of women's cycling. He says to keep an eye on the Australian Carnes for a bunch sprint because she's super, super fast. So the Australian in this group behind chasing could be a medal contender.
More attacks coming from behind as we see Eliska Kaznikova about to get company, and quite a substantial peloton now. Backstead then takes a gel, puts it in her mouth, gets ready to take that on board as she makes her way through the line with 2 laps of racing to go. Zoe Backstead is the solo leader. The advantage is 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
She has a look up at the board there. She wants to check her time advantage. She will be getting time checks on the blackboard as well on the motorbike. Anyone, because she's one of the stronger riders and time trial riders for a breakaway.
I think you're right. It's a difficult ask, isn't it? We're seeing Backstead just demolishing the circuit, whereas the other riders, they're demonstrating how tough this circuit really is. It's not that possible to just ride away into what is a tough wind at times, isn't it? So you see the next group of riders coming through, led by the Australian rider, and that is on the front, Bronte Stewart. It's a little bit disorientating for the riders who don't normally have to do the changes on the left-hand side of the road.
Yeah, so she's just talking to her team managers and the mechanics in the back. She's going to get a spare bike, it looks like, from the Shimano spares vehicle. She wants to talk to them.
She's going all the way back. Got to keep an eye on what's going on. She's got a problem.
Doctor.
Ah, the doctor's car.
She's having trouble breathing by the looks of things. Phoebe Yoris, 3rd in the time trial. One of the outside favourites for today. Definitely a medal chance favourite. And we've got some action at the front of the peloton.
Attack then from Spain. Lucia Ruiz is now on the attack. 2 minutes 44, the advantage for Zoe Backstead. German team now also starting to get in the mix as well. Working her way across is one of the members of the Great Britain team.
And they are doing a superb job just covering all these moves and still controlling the race back in the peloton.
How is it that Grace Lister is using her tactics to keep this gap as it is? Because you see her riding quite hard over that particular little rise, but that's quite clever riding, isn't it?
Yeah.
As we go back to our solo leader, for those of you just joining us, 26.9 kilometres to go. The solo leader is the race favourite, Zoe Backstead. 2 minutes and 41 seconds is her lead. She attacked with 57 kilometres to go. She's already done 31 kilometres in the lead on her own. No other riders got anywhere close to her. The team of Great Britain set things up for her onto the first climb of the day, and then she attacked over the top and went clear. Phoebe Yoris has been back at the doctor's car. She's got what she needed, and now she makes her way back into the peloton. Number 27 there, Laura Ruiz, and now France starting to up the tempo. The team of real climbers, this French squad. American riders also getting involved in the action. The tempo is hard, but it's nothing like it was on the first lap when it was relentless up here. Chloe Patrick dropped again. She keeps getting distanced and keeps getting herself back on over the top, doing a very good ride. This is Hannah Kunz of Germany. There are riders who just don't like this particular steep section of this climb, and then they fight their way over the top, refuse to give in and get themselves back on. This is Fiona Zimmerman wearing number 55. Egotine Rea is a fantastic climber as she now accelerates hard over the top of this climb. The French rider trying to make a move that can get herself certainly the silver medal and try and get a bit closer to Zoe Backstead. Rea goes over the top of the climb, big acceleration. The British rider trying to chase her down. Rea into the aero tuck. Won't necessarily have the power into the windy section on the way back to the finish line.
But that's where we might see the advantage grow again for Zoe Backstead once they get down these descents.
I think there's 10 riders in this chasing group.
Well, look at that, Great Britain straight to the front again just to try and upset the pace. And you can see quite a large group behind now just chasing down as well. So those groups are likely to come back together.
Zoe Backstead heads in to complete the penultimate lap of racing. The last time round, her advantage was 2 minutes and 2 seconds. This time round, she's going to be at 2 minutes and 20 odd seconds. So she's grown her advantage with 1 lap of racing to go. This rider is going to enjoy a birthday that she'll never forget. Zoe Backstead crosses the line with an advantage now of up to 2 minutes and 25 seconds. As she hits the line now, it's 2:24 with 1 lap of this Wollongong circuit to go. 15.9 kilometres of racing to go for Backstead. Coming up to complete the penultimate lap is Nienke Vinke, a rider who we thought was one of the favourites for today and is now showing just how strong she is. She will ride the World Tour next year as well. 18 years of age, the Dutch rider comes across the line with 1 lap of racing to go.
Well, will she be able to hold that gap to the peloton when we get to the climbs? The pace seems to pick up at the front of the peloton.
As she goes past our commentary position, she looks really strong. The peloton of riders behind, led now by the Italian rider. Just looking around to see whether anyone's prepared to do any work, and that is Eleonora Ciabocco. As we get some counter-attacks going on. 12.9 kilometres to go. 2:13 is now the advantage for Backstead. 2:29 to this group of riders.
Yeah, very notable to see the time of Nienke Vinke, because the Dutch woman who has gone out after Zoe Backstead has actually closed down nearly a minute, 50 seconds on the rider out in front. So it's not all over yet.
She's got 1 big climb to go.
If she's on that climb now, she'll see some of the entertaining fans on the side of the road, and she looks at the blackboard there just to see her time check. She still seems to be moving very, very well. So she's on the 12% section of the climb. It does kick up a little bit to 14% in the middle. Really tough part of the climb.
This is the worst part of this course. This rider has ridden an incredible race. Now she gets close to the top. Once she goes over the top, she knows that this race is hers as long as she can technically ride it well. Another furious bit of momentum as she urges that bike forward.
She's trying to attack the climb. She's got super tired legs. She's been out from lap 1 by herself. but you can see how powerful she is compared to the other riders. She's in a class of her own. Vinca of the Netherlands, she is starting to tire now.
These two riders, you can just see the difference as they try to fight the slope.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep momentum, aren't they, just to get up this climb. Whereas when we saw Zoe Backstead, she was just pacing herself, really attacking the climb.
Still, Ninka Vinca is holding on to that slender lead. You can see the peloton coming back, slowly but surely, to the group behind. They're about to catch them.
Yeah, she's certainly the best climber in this race, and you would expect that she'll try and close this gap towards the top. A little bit of an attack from the rider from France. Can she close the gap to Vinca of the Netherlands? She gets out of the seat now. She says goodbye and tries to chase down the rider from the Netherlands. And look at the ease that she's doing that, the speed.
You can imagine Eglantine Rea in the Tour de France for women on the mountains, just cresting the top of something like the Tourmalet or the Ventoux or something like that and just taking a victory. She's such a good climber.
And look at that, zigzagging behind.
Now Urucci fights her way to the top of Mount Pleasant for the final time. 6 kilometres to go now for Backstead. The New Zealander's looking good here as she makes her way towards the top. Bonnie Rattray in with a chance of a medal.
Yeah, she's been quiet until this point of the race, but clearly one of the strongest riders towards the end of the race. In junior racing, they don't have communication from their coaches behind, so they just have to take the professionalism on themselves. This is Eglantine Rea of France and Ninka Vinca of Netherlands. They are working together to try and keep that silver and bronze medal secure, as we now see some action from the chasing peloton.
Schmitzberger of Austria just ups the tempo a little bit. Zoe Backstead is about to crown an incredible week. This rider from Great Britain has already got the Junior World Cyclocross title, a Junior World title on the track in the Madison. She's the Junior World title holder now in the time trial. She was the Junior World Champion in the road race last year with an attack of 57 kilometres. Zoe Backstead makes her way to the line. 100 metres to go, 57 kilometres solo. It's a brilliant birthday. The British rider Zoe Backstead blazes to a phenomenal victory in the Junior World Championship. You've just witnessed something that's absolutely incredible. The Dutch rider checking over her shoulder. She now doesn't know what to expect because the climber wasn't expected to come back to her on the coast road. Ninka Vinca's going to have to lead out, and it's slightly uphill with 200 metres of racing to go. Vinca is looking around like a track rider. Rea is ready to pounce. Rea goes a little bit early, tries to get the element of surprise. She's the lighter rider. Are France going to get the silver? Ninka Vinca would have been expected to get rid of the French rider. She doesn't do it. It's Eglantine Rea who takes silver, Ninka Vinca who takes the bronze, and then the rest of the riders coming in to take the minor places. It's, I think, Chiabocco who's going to cross the line now, and behind them it's all sorted out for the rest of the places.
And without a doubt, Zoe Backstead waiting for the rest of the Great Britain team to come in.
A1 Roberts, 16th on the day.
Best birthday present.
Pellegrini of Italy was 4th, Mayo Kakita of Japan in 5th place, and Malwina Mull of Poland in 6th place. So one. Mull's amazed every morning how many people are in swimming here.
Yeah, certainly is one of the favoured sports and ways to keep fit. The water not too cold, so it's quite pleasant.
Let's take a look then at the result of the women's junior road race. Zoe Backstead of Great Britain takes the victory ahead of Eglantine Rea of France. Aninka Vinker of the Netherlands finishes in third. The makeup of the top 10 includes Mayo Kakita of Japan, and also in there is Eleonora Chiabocco of Italy in 8th place.